the weekly episode of the Freelancer Codex podcast. Your host, Steven, and co-hosts Mike, Devon, and JD are all set. Join us and tweet your questions at Freelancer Codex. Find us on Facebook at Freelancer Codex, or send emails to freelancercodex@gmail.com. Strap into your javelins, and let's drop in.
Welcome, freelancers, to episode 63 of the Freelancer Codex podcast, the longest-running Anthem podcast on the internet or in the universe. You could say it's the longest-running Anthem podcast in the Anthem universe. Maybe you could say that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say it. I'm your host, Steve, along with my co-hosts, Mike, JD, and Devon. Guys, any sweet Black Friday deals you were able to pick up on this last holiday?
You just jump right into stuff, don't you? Like, there's
Black
no
Friday's the holiday, right?
There's no hey, how you doing? We
ain't got time for that. This
Ain't
is
got time for
running
that.
Anthem podcast for a reason. Mike, deals, go. Did you get any? This is what the people want to know.
Hopefully this is what they want to know. So over the past little bit, Steve and I have been building. When I say building, I mean not really, but we've been working on a PC for me to get. I have been using a pretty outdated computer.
How outdated, Mike? How outdated was your computer?
I am not at liberty to say. But
10
we were
years.
able. It was 10 years old.
10 years.
But anyway. So we were able to score a pretty nice PC. Looks good. Seems to be working well. We're gonna add a liquid cooler to it, and then it's gonna be up and running, good to go. Play some Anthem on it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun, actually. So
sooner than you imagine. JD, you get any sweet deals?
Not really. Can't say I did.
I'm sorry, Devin. You got sweet deals.
Yeah, we'll see. I got nice
We'll
Alienware.
See. How do you see? What do you mean we'll see? That doesn't make any sense.
No, well,
I don't
it had it was great. I got my new monitor, 34-inch, 1440p ultra wide Alienware 120 hertz monitor. Worked good for a game or two, and now it flickers and has issues, and so.
What? Seriously?
Yeah. It's
that
a bit
is
frustrating, and I was playing the game this afternoon, and everything kept going white and white and white. I was
man,
what the crap is going on?
Seasons. It's snow.
Did you plug in the right cables?
Whatever game you were playing is playing with seasons now.
I have all the right cables, and I've already gone through the online troubleshooting, and because I guess it's typical for this screen to have some of those kind of issues. So
it's typical for this screen to arrive broken.
I guess so. It's $1,500 screen, but I got it for half off on Black Friday. But
I with good reason, it sounds like. I hope you get that fixed, because there's nothing more frustrating than having electronics that do not work. I'm sure BioWare is also feeling that same frustration today. We'll talk a little bit about the stream that they had later on once we get all of our thoughts together.
Stream?
It was a stream. It was a stream of something.
Give it a shot.
Well, we'll talk about it, okay? So first thing I want to address, there was a stream. It didn't go great. They had some internet issues, and they had some other issues that kept them from being able to continue with the stream.
Streaming software sucked.
Streaming software was not good, okay? So you know what? OBS has a chance to go in there and be like, BioWare, we will sponsor you. Here's all this stuff. Make us a sponsor, and then we'll show you how to do this. We'll come in, we'll set it all up for you.
Send one of our expert streamers to you guys.
We'll send out Carl, this 14-year-old streamer that's been doing this for a long time. No, I kid, I jest. But there's one of the things I want to address. There's a lot of people online that are upset about it. It's not what they expected, and there's a lot of Anthem community people that are, telling them, calm down. This isn't, how this was. We know that there were issues. They're going to fix the issues. I understand that sentiment of trying to tell people to calm down, but I also don't like it when, people's emotions, their feelings, I don't think you should tell people to calm down. This is on BioWare now to prove to everybody that, no, we can do this, and we will do it. With what happened with the Paris stream, with everything, being downgraded, the issues that they had with that, you can't just tell people, I know that's what you saw, but that's not what the game is. BioWare has to show us. And they kind of did that when Ben and Mike came on and did the November 1st stream. They showed everyone, no, this is what the game really looks like. This is how it plays. And that's really good. I'm glad that they did that, because it did show everyone else that, yeah, this is what the game is. This is what the game looks like. And they just need to do that again, right? Mike said that they're going to try it as soon as they can. They're going to get the stream back up and running. And I think that's the right thing to do. They're not saying, guys, we promise it's better than this. They're saying, no, just wait. We'll show you. You know, sometimes these technical things do happen. And it sucks that it happened. But it's on BioWare now.
We are not foreign to technical difficulties here on the Freelancer Codex.
No, it happens.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Steve and I lost power 2 weeks ago. I mean, yeah, it happens.
I mean, to be fair and honest, what they did show, what we did see of like Fort Tarsis stuff looked great.
Yeah.
You know, graphics looked amazing and stuff. But, I mean, it's a technical alpha build, which, I mean, we could talk about that later. But, I mean, it didn't go well for him. But
and it is unfortunate. But, you know, as a community, it's like, yeah, just, you know, we know the game's good. Just wait for what they're going to show us next. I don't think it does anyone any good to tell someone that's upset about this stream to say, no, just calm down. It's better than this. Like, no, it's on BioWare now to show us what they can do. And I think they can. I think they'll have some time to figure it out, do some test streams, you know, make a fake account, go online, have a bunch of people from different parts of the world log in, make sure that your audio is good, make sure that we don't have that, you know, the
double
sound
audio
being overlapped again, you know, figure this stuff out. And they can do it. So I have faith in them. But you know what? If you're upset about it, like, you know, I'm upset about it too, because I really wanted to see this stuff. I wanted to see master difficulty today. You know, a lot of people like myself, you know, we take a little bit of time out of our day to tune in, and it sucks when it doesn't go well. But I hope it will in the future, and I'm sure it will. So also people that are talking about trying to access the alpha servers to log in for the alpha, saying that, you know, you hope that BioWare gets their servers in order before the game releases. Those servers are not the same. They are not. You're not going to be playing Anthem on the same servers where that is housed. That's not how it works.
Not the same.
So they understand. Like this kind of thing happens with Blizzard when you try to buy tickets to BlizzCon. When servers get slammed, they don't take it very well. Like, you can't build a server to house, you know, this many people and keep that running every day. It doesn't make financial sense, right? You know, sometimes you get overloaded, sometimes you get hit, and you just kind of have to roll with it and fix it. So I hope everyone continues to try and get on and access the... Am I sounding robot-y to you guys?
Yep. I mean, Discord has technical issues all the time.
Right when we're having a technical difficulty discussion.
Luckily on my side, it's going to record well, so no one will even know. So you are the only three that know that it's going.
YouTube will know.
So I apologize. Well, now everyone knows because I said. So first thing, we want to touch on a couple things. Unless you guys, JD, you have anything to say about my hot take? It's not even that hot of a take.
No, I'm
okay. I will carry on.
I think it's fine, right? Everybody, it's okay if you're upset. It's okay if you're not upset. You know, we just, like Steven said, you don't need to tell people how to feel. But I mean, if you want to, you can. That's cool. I'm not gonna be upset if you try and tell me how to feel, because
let's
you
just
know.
all be upset about something. I'm not upset. I really hope. I mean, I know that they're going to do fine. When Ben gets back, really, that's what it is. When Ben was there, everything goes fine. So you can't break up the Mike and Ben power dynamic that you got going there.
That was, I mean, Mike did have a funny joke about Ben being in prison because smuggling koalas.
It was pretty funny.
It was funny.
Yeah.
So real thing. So a lot has happened since the last time we recorded. So we're gonna rewind to last week. Emily Taylor showed off a couple screenshots of her red Colossus. It's kind of like an orangish, reddish Colossus.
I don't see any red in there at all.
Maybe I'm just colorblind. What color is that then?
It's totally orange to me. Is it orange to you guys?
Yeah, that's orange, Steve.
Maybe I just
adjust your monitor. Maybe your monitor is going out too.
My monitor might be going out. Anyway, she showed off the Colossus. It's got some plaid weave in it. She made it specific that it's not flannel. So I'm sorry, I got my whole flannel plaid thing mixed up. So this is plaid. This is obviously not flannel. I'm not wearing flannel right now. This is some sort of microfiber.
I am not wearing flannel right now.
No, you're not. You're wearing plaid. And we got a couple of views at some new UI elements. This is the first time we've seen the gear pieces actually have ammo attached to them. So one person on Twitter was asking about, you know, cooldown, because I think a lot of us thought that all the gear pieces will have cooldowns attached to them. But it looks like a lot of these just have ammo. So I don't know if you're going to be finding specific ammo out in the field for these gear pieces. We haven't really seen any different color ammo drop on the ground. We've just seen the regular boxes. So it'll be interesting to see how that works, because we've got 10 rounds of some lightning ability that this thing has. It could be like the lightning coils that they've talked about on the the Colossus webpage. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think, should there be a separate type of ammo you have to pick up for your gear pieces, or should picking up one box refill your primary weapons and your gear pieces?
So just as a clarification, when you say gear pieces, you're looking at these three on bottom, right bumper, left bumper, right and left bumper.
Yep, those are our 3 gear pieces each.
Well, the right and left bumper is your ultimate.
That's your ultimate, right? And
or no,
says,
that's
up is the
up is the ultimate.
Oh, up is the ultimate.
Yeah.
Those are your 3 gear pieces. And on these,
so maybe that's not even an ammo count. That's just a times you can use count.
I mean, the flamethrower has
a
100
specific
on there.
cooldown.
Yeah.
That's a flamethrower that looks like wind.
It could be wind. So you're thinking instead that is maybe like a timer more than
maybe like a timer. So maybe that's like 10 seconds, and then that's 100 seconds of flamethrower.
100 seconds of flamethrower is a lot.
It's a Colossus.
I mean, it is, but I would think that was weird, because then how long does it take to recharge something like that?
100 seconds.
100 seconds. Okay.
I don't know.
But,
so it makes sense that weapons have ammo. That just makes sense. Right. But then you're right. When you look down at gear, you're looking, 10 of 10, 100 of 100. It could be, maybe it's not even 100 seconds. Maybe it's a countdown. Maybe it's not a second. It's just some type of countdown at some interval. It might not be a second interval. The left bumper, I mean, that might be, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm having a technical difficulty.
Because the storm, the storm has a lightning strike. How do you pick up ammo for a lightning strike? Like, when does that recharge? Are they just
get shot? Well, Thor had to go up into space and
maybe you just pick up some kind of energy drop, right?
Maybe
just picks up and fills up your gear pieces.
So
without it, you'd have to have, if you had separate stuff for all of that, weapons included. That's 5 different drops you have to pick up plus health.
You have to pick up.
But we already know the ammo is only
between all the javelins.
Yeah, we already know ammo is one.
Lots of stuff to pick up.
It's especially since Steve has been working his way through Mass Effect Andromeda again. There are some abilities in BioWare games that usually have ammo costs of their own, like Flat Cannon or Flat Cannon is the only one that comes to mind. But their ammo drops for that are usually pretty frequent. So it's more so just like it's an ability that you unlocked and that you have on your character, but you can only use it so many times because it's something that consumes a certain thing. So kind of like how the flamethrower ability in Mass Effect Andromeda, you can hold it, but you see a little bar go down as you're using it, and then you have to wait for it to recharge before you can use it again. So it might be kind of like what Mike was saying, that there's just a number kind of countdown, kind of like when you drain a turret in any other video game, that it's all the way down, give it a couple seconds, you'll see the numbers go back up to full. The only thing that makes me think that might not be the case here is that it has another set of numbers below it, like you would usually see as a remaining ammo count beyond this current magazine or clip. So
yeah, and I think that's the big thing for me. It would make sense if it was just a bar that would fill up and fill down. But with the added numbers there, it kind of makes it
fill down?
Maybe fill down. Yeah, when you fill down.
When you fill down something.
Yeah. So also moving on, we're gonna have 2 people here. So we've had some more.
Watch out, Aaron Rodgers! I'm gonna fill this down.
We're gonna do
fill these 2 kids down. I'm gonna
That's
separate these 2. Discount Belichick. Fill these 2 kids down. If you don't know what we're talking about, please check out episode 61 of the Freelancer Codex podcast.
Get it out of your systems. Get it out. Okay, we had a little bit more information about the comic book. So I was on Amazon. This is where I get if anyone wants to know, I get all of my Anthem information off of Amazon. That is the quickest source for anything new that comes up. No, it's very true.
No.
I get what?
You're going to talk about stuff later that you got information from. That's not
Amazon. I saw
Amazon.
it first on Amazon. Amazon sent out a link to the stream.
Yeah, we're not talking about that stuff yet, Devon. Don't let anything out about that.
So, I was looking at the comic book stuff, and I noticed that there was another entry for the compilation of all the 3 issues that we're going to get are going to be bound together and sold on August 13th of 2019. And this is the description that they gave for the comics. There's a little bit more information than just the single issues. So it says Yarrow, one of the brave warriors known as Freelancers who pilot powerful javelin exosuits, rescues a lone boy, Kismet, from an ambush. With no family left alive, Kismet is placed with the family in Fort Tarsis, a human outpost surrounded by untamed wilderness. His adoptive sister, Yanni, or Laurel, Yanni, struggles with Kismet with strong personality at first, but over the years, the two become close friends. As they grow, Yanni learns to fly and fight in javelin armor, while Kismet trains to join the ranks of the mysterious Ciphers. The pair then find themselves split, each pursuing their own craft of war, until an enemy force, large and vicious, appears on the horizon, bringing them together to face their ultimate test. They've vowed to defend humanity, but can they protect each other? So that was a little blurb that they gave for the book that's going to be coming out in August. It's a long time with only 3 issues coming out, I think. I mean, we don't exactly know how far apart those issues are going to be separated when they release on the 27th. It could be that it's one every month, and then they're going to throw it together. We don't know how long the comics are going to be. But if it's only 3 issues, I don't think this book is going to be very big. Usually they put, like, what, 20 comic issues into a book before they sell it?
The ones I know from Halo are only like 6 issues, and then they put them together. So
I don't know. I guess I'm used to like the old, you get the Spider-Man comics and you get like 20 issues in them. But I mean, then they're cranking out comics, throughout the whole year, so it could be a little bit different. So does this description excite you guys any more on the comic, or is this you're gonna buy the comic regardless of what this description was gonna be? JD, does this excite you more as a comic book fan?
Definitely has some potential. I think I'll probably pick it up and read it when it comes out. Honestly, I'm just really excited for what it's going to add to the lore, because, even if the comics aren't exactly good, they almost always add something interesting to the lore in some way, which is the primary reason to check them out usually.
Right. All right, and then the next thing that we heard about as we were going again through Amazon, guys, is that their Prima Games is going to release an official Anthem guide at launch. And I kind of wanted to ask you guys first, Mike, will you read the little blurb that we have on this from the Amazon website?
Go beyond strategy. Immerse yourself in the beautiful, ever-evolving, and dangerous world of Anthem with this collector's edition guide from Prima Games. Compelling interviews, and look behind the scenes. Hear from the talented minds behind Anthem.
Yay, that's Ben.
Exclusive.
They
forward.
said talented, Mike. They said talented.
Shot fired. Steve,
Oh, sorry.
tonight.
Never coming back to talk to us now.
Steve salty tonight.
He's still in koala bears. You can't defend someone like that.
Then you can come talk to me. It's all good.
He's trying to.
Exclusive forward from the Anthem team. Premium hardcover book. The gorgeous exclusive design is a must-have for any fan and features the signatures of the entire development team.
That's like 350 people.
Comprehensive walkthroughs. We lead the way from start to finish. Experience everything. So why buy the game?
You don't have to if you buy this. Well,
If you buy that. Detailed maps. Our exclusive custom maps reveal key locations and crucial items. Never lose your way. That's what Devon needs. He's always lost. Oh, me.
I'm always
You
where I
know it.
need to be when I want to be.
You know it, and I know it, and everybody else knows it. Digital bonus. Ooh, there's a digital bonus when you buy this guide from Prima
Digital
Games.
version?
Unlock your digital version of this guide with the free code card included inside. Access your digital guide anytime, anywhere, on any web-enabled device.
Very nice. So would you guys buy the guide and actually use it? Are you game walkthrough guide users?
No. I mean,
Not really.
yes. I mean, it's like the comment just made. Like, then why buy the game?
I mean, there's one thing about reading it and knowing where all the secrets are and being able to find that. Also, to own it, to be a completionist, that you want to own all
To
the
be a
Anthem
completionist,
content
yeah,
that's
you
out
could
there.
probably do that. And I'm sure that there's a bunch of people who collect all the games for all the guides who might not even open them. It's again something to put on a bookshelf, to a collection, another piece to show you. Now I probably I don't know if I personally would buy the guide. I've used guides before, and I've had to go find some information on things. You know, you go through and you're trying to find all these collectibles, and there's that one that is just so super hidden that you have to go to the guide to find it, because no one else can find it. You know, so I mean, so there's that part, but.
I mean, I think nowadays you don't open the book, right? You go to youtube.com and you go, where is the fourth? You go, where is the fourth whatchamacallit and the who's a what's it? And then it tells you where it is, right? And that's one of the reasons why Prima Games, I think, is going out of business.
Oh,
they'll be shutting their doors in March. So this will be one of the last guides that they put out. And doing a guide for a live service game, I think is difficult enough. Because what do? You put it out for the first initial content.
Yeah.
Like when do you even get access to it to make these guides? Because they're still changing stuff in the game right now. So being able to even talking about, you know, moving collectibles around in Fort Tarsis, because Mike was like picking them up like crazy, finding all of them, showing us where they all are.
Yeah.
There was only like 3 of them. He didn't show hardly that much. But in a game like that, you know, it's like, oh, sorry, if these things are not here, it's possible that they moved. It's like the warning in the beginning of any game. It's like, this game is rated this, but when you're online, we have no idea. So, I mean, this is kind of one of the reasons why the game is
We don't know what those little kids are going to tell you.
Which is kind of sad. And they've been doing a lot of extra content on their website. You know, I haven't bought it. I've never. No, I wouldn't say never. I have the original Ocarina of Time walkthrough guide that I bought when I was younger. But other than that, I mean, I've never been interested in reading about things. I'd rather discover, like you said, Mike. Like, what's the point if you can just point to page 9 and say, oh, this is where this is? Especially with things like nerfs and buffs and things that are going to change all the time. So, like, it sucks. I hope that all the people that work at Prima are able to find jobs somewhere else. Because that's, I mean, that place, Prima's been around for a really long time. And it's kind of like sad to see it go. Because that's some history there. I mean, you could get it for the exclusive forward and the behind the scene things. That would be a reason to pick up the game. Or not the game, to pick up the book. Because you might not get that anywhere else. So. I know, sad to see it go, but I know I never would have bought it. So,
but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's like it's not something that I would have picked up anyway. So,
Oh, Primo.
but oh well. Okay.
Appreciate you for all that you've done for everybody over the years, and I'm sure a bunch of our listener has
A bunch of our listener.
Yeah, I still can't
Okay.
believe people listen to this. But I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
a
agree.
bunch of them have used the guides, and so Devon probably has. He can't really do anything on his own. He's probably got all the guides, right, Devon? Come on, man.
All the time. They're amazing. The last guide I bought was when Halo 4 came out because it had 90 pages of art in it. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it's more
And
than
because
just a guide, then, right?
They don't have Halo art books, and that's
too.
why.
Well, they do have some Halo art books, but they come out later.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's that
So-
completionist in you that wants to get all things Halo, and
Yes.
you know, and so are you thinking about picking this up then?
No, because it's not
Um,
Halo.
It depends. I mean, I have one pre-ordered, so
Oh,
for the behind the scenes stuff. But it's like, well, what's going to be in this other thing that we're going to talk about? And
So when we talk about behind the scenes stuff, you know, when you get the DVDs that say, "Oh, behind the scenes," and you get that DVD that's like, "Oh, I'm so excited to see this behind the scenes stuff,"
and then you
and
just
it's
never
like
look at it.
just outtakes that are like, you know, stuff you saw in commercials or old commercials that they put out,
yeah.
and it's like complete waste of time. And then you buy like the Lord of the Rings extended edition behind the scenes commentary, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is like 27 hours worth of content." That's
Yeah.
the kind of behind the scenes things I like, not the, "Oh, this was a trailer that we put out once." Anyway. So also we got a new look at a creature in the world. So Emily Taylor again took to Twitter. She was like knocking out all these things on Twitter. So we got to see what I believe is a brute in its natural form. JD, if you were to describe this brute, how would you describe it to someone that has never seen a brute before?
Have they played a BioWare game before?
No, they've never played a video game in their
No.
life.
Oh, well,
This is a TV.
imagine.
Go ahead. Ignore me.
Do it, JD.
Wow.
There's a picture.
knows?
You can look at the picture and just
Imagine,
describe it.
Imagine a big old a big old teddy bear. Now take all the fur off, and then make all the limbs as long and creepy as possible. And then I don't know, maybe stick something that looks like a plant on the top of its head, and give it a bunch of glowing eyes, and you got this fella.
Yeah, I think that's pretty close. I mean, this is.
I mean, it's got a six-pack. And so
it definitely has some washboard abs. That's
shoulder
you can wash his
blade,
clothes there.
Shoulder pads.
BioWare.
So and what is this called? This is called the Brute?
So I don't know exactly what this thing is called. I am calling it a Brute for this reason. So it looks like the Dominion, the Brute Dominion, the Frost Dominion Brute from the November 1st stream that destroyed Ben and Mike over and over again. Except the Dominion Brute looks like it had some weapons attached to it,
like
and it was a different color
things, huh?
with giant weapons. So based on the claws that you can see very briefly, it was very hard to get a good look in the stream on the Brutes just because they were moving around so fast, and it's not like they were going to stop and just stare at it so we could take pictures of it. But the claws look very similar and the legs look very similar. So I'm guessing this is a Brute before it was taken over by the Dominion. And we know that the Dominion also has some hounds that it looks like it's, I don't know if they're training the creatures of Mirrus, if they're doing experiments on them, because we've seen the hounds being attacked by Ursix before, and then we see Dominion hounds. So I'm guessing they're probably just weaponizing everything that they can get their hands on. Hopefully they don't get their hands on an Ursix, because the Dominion Ursix might be really bad if you attach weapons to that thing. The Teslar Grabbits, I don't know if those things are going to be taken over by the Dominion, but...
What do we say about Grabbits, Steven?
All right. Sorry. So this Brute, I mean, looking at the head, it has 6 different eyes, which I think is kind of weird. So it's got 6 red eyes, and these are different segments. It's not just one bisected. What do you call a fly's eye? They're like, I don't even binocular eyes. So it's got really weird looking eyes.
They're
You know
not
what
binocular.
it looks like? What's the game? Tom Clancy's Siphon Filter? What's the game called?
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell, yeah, which got all the glasses and the eyes. We're going to move on because apparently I'm having technical difficulties. I promise I'm not a robot.
The newest creation of Third Echelon.
That's right. It just ascended to the Siphon Filter. So do you guys think, I mean, this creature to me, it's walking upright. Do you think there's going to be an intelligence to the creatures on the planet, or are they just going to be bug-like, mindless?
Well, he does look like he lifts, so, I mean, he must be going to the gym somewhere.
I don't think we're going to have conversations with them, per se, but they definitely have some kind of intelligence, right? So,
well, I mean, how smart can they be? They're going up against Javelin exosuits. I mean,
we had to build them to defend ourselves, so it'll be kind of interesting. Also, we finally got confirmation from Brendan Holmes on the Anthem Discord that Mirrus is actually the name of the continent, and that was confirmed by him. For the longest time, we had the name Mirrus up on the website, and we've asked a bunch of times if it's the name of the world, if it's the name of this, if it's the name of that, and they would never say anything. So I don't know exactly why it was like time to say it on the Discord now, but Mirrus is the name of the continent, which makes me think that there's probably going to be multiple continents. So I know we've been talking.
We're hoping
about,
anyway.
That's what we're hoping for future DLC. We were talking about the biomes that we have seen, and John, I believe it was John, said that we're mostly going to be seeing forest, jungle-ish biomes. So hopefully on different continents, we might be able to go somewhere else in the future. Maybe later on for the big expansions, we'll be traveling off of Mirrus and going somewhere else. So it'll be interesting to see. That's where that will go.
Well, I mean, continents can have multiple biomes, right? I mean,
it's true, and that's why I thought it was like
Antarctica doesn't have multiple biomes.
I said they can.
It's true. We don't know how big Mirrus is. I mean, you talk about continent South America. That place is huge. You have every biome throughout the year just because of how large that continent is. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how. What do you like? Okay, we're gonna continue on. So next thing up. So Anthem. This is exciting news, guys, because I don't know how much anticipation you have for Anthem, but it made it into the Game Awards, the 2018 Game Awards. This is being put on by, who's this, CBS? It was nominated for Most Anticipated Game of 2018. You guys want to hear who it's up against so you can see if it's actually going to win this or not?
Yeah.
how excited are you for this category? So up in this category, first we're going to get The Last of Us 2. So this is rumored to be coming out next year in 2019. Then we have Kingdom Hearts 3, which is going to be releasing pretty soon. That's only like 2 months. JD, you're picking up Kingdom Hearts 3, right? Is that your most anticipated game?
I mean, I've been waiting like almost 15 years for it.
I know. So how can you
more than half of your life you've been waiting for this game?
Yeah.
So it must be your most anticipated game of your life, not just of 2018. So then we got.
I'm not gonna lie. I might be more excited for Cyberpunk 2077.
So Cyberpunk is coming out in June, so that's on the list here. Death Stranding, which is coming out in 2042. So I don't know how that even makes it on the list. If that gave me a
2042.
Did you say 2042?
Yeah, I don't think this game
Is there a niner in there?
I don't think Death Stranding is going to ever be released. So
people
that'll
go to
be
college
people's
for
most
7
anticipated
years.
game for the world or the year. So Tom Clancy's The Division is going to be coming out. Then we've got Elder
Division
Scrolls
2.
6, which
Yeah, Division.
the Division 2, sorry. Then Elder Scrolls 6, which isn't going to be out till 2030. So I don't know why that's on the list. It's going to be the most anticipated for like 10 years. Then Days Gone, which comes out in May. Then we have Anthem, which is coming out on the 22nd. And we have Rage 2, which is coming out in 2019. And Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. So there is a link. We'll put a link in the show notes. So if you want to vote for Anthem as your most anticipated game, if it is your most anticipated game, go vote. So these Choice Awards they've got a lot of categories that I think are very bogus. I don't think they really asked a lot of people what kind of categories they should have for this first thing that they're doing. Because, I mean, we have Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, and that seems kind of like the premier event for video games and award shows. I'm not a huge fan of award shows anyway, because it just tends to be a popularity contest no matter what you do. So I'm going to guess Death Stranding wins because for some reason people think Kojima is like the second coming of video games. So I don't know how you compete with that. Anyway, any comments on these awesome game awards? Are you guys even excited for it? You guys even going to tune in?
Well, I mean, it's on CBS, so we'll see how they do. You know, I have watched the Game Awards and the VGAs before that on Spike for many years, and as cringeworthy as they are and can be, I still watch them. You know, but most of the time, like last year, is pretty much mostly all PlayStation or Nintendo, which Jeff Keighley is a huge fan of both PlayStation and Nintendo, and not going to say he's biased, but I'm pretty sure, I mean, he's biased.
I don't think he's the only one that votes.
No, but, I mean, they had like a group of people on their board or whatever that decided this stuff.
So there's a pretty big board for the VGAs. They reach out to a bunch of the popular outlets, and they all vote. But, I mean, also, it's not like Microsoft had a lot to show last year either.
So I do feel like we need to just clarify this real quick. The awards that Anthem was nominated for, those are the Gamers' Choice Awards on CBS. The Game Awards are the Jeff Keighley show.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be on CBS.
Nope, that's
No,
on...
that is not.
What is it on?
On Twitch. You can watch it on
believe
Twitch.
it's on Twitch now. Like it used to be on Spike, and then it's all online now. I think.
I thought they broadcasted it somewhere last year, but
I
it
don't
was
know.
on multiple channels, so...
Well, this year we actually have a reason to watch the VGAs because a new trailer for Anthem is going to be premiering at the VGAs. And that is
Jonathan
gonna
Warner will be there
happening-
too.
Jonathan Warner will be there, and they said Casey will be there also. So that's going to happen December 6th at 5:30 p.m. PST, 8:30 EST, EST, and 2:30 at CET. So that'll be airing live
Spanish?
from Los Angeles and streaming for free on Twitch. And I'm glad they're actually doing it on Twitch because before, I mean, I haven't had television for the last 11 years just because I don't want to pay for it. So being able to watch it on Twitch will be kind of cool. And then I'll tune out after I see the Anthem stuff. Hopefully they'll tell us exactly when they're going to air the Anthem stuff because I'm not going to sit through that whole show
They're not going to tell
and
you.
watch everything. Well, maybe I'll
They
just
told
watch
you
the
when.
VOD
It's on
later.
December 6th. That's about
Yeah,
it.
you have to watch all day to get this Anthem information. So, all right. So real quick, before they started their stream, man, it seems like this has been the most information we've gotten in 1 week since forever, according to Anthem. So it's been a pretty good week. So lots of things to talk about. So today they were going to do a live stream with Mike Gamble, and that was announced at 2 o'clock. So right at 2 o'clock, a bunch of outlets Polygon, PC Gamer, I think a couple other people dropped articles that there was going to be a closed alpha for Anthem. And the closed alpha is going to be happening on the 8th of December at 11 a.m. That's Mountain Time for me. And there's going to be another test. So the first test goes from 11 to 2. And then the second test goes from 3 to 6? I don't have end dates on my times.
They're all 3-hour blocks.
So there'll be 2 of them on Saturday from 11 to 2, and then from 3 to 6, and then there'll be 2 more tests on Sunday the 9th, and those will be at the same times from 11 to 2 and from 3 to 6. So this is pretty. I wasn't expecting an alpha, to be honest. I didn't think that they were going to do this, but I'm pretty excited that they are, because that's next week. Like we've had no information on being able to play the game until the demo that happens in February. So this is your first chance to get in. Right now, the website to log on is currently down and broken. I'm guessing because of the amount of people that are trying to log in. I was lucky enough, I got in, so I was able to sign up for the PC alpha. Devon, were you able to get in? And save your spot?
Yeah, I did that as soon as it was on Twitter from Polygon. I mean, and then I was still able to log in right before we started recording to check all the stuff. I chose all the dates and all the times to play if we get in. So.
Well, I think if you've already gotten in, you can open up that page again, because I've been able to get back in, but Mike has said he has not been able to access it.
I couldn't get back on earlier.
I'm in it I'm in it watching it right now. It's just like it's up for me and it works. Yeah. It tells me what my times are. It tells me that
give it a shot, JD.
Is pending.
So Mike, were you able to? So you were able to select PlayStation?
I did not get PC though. I clicked buttons out of order, and I actually am going to be on Xbox. Oh, slap your big old forehead, you little 5-head. Yeah.
So you'll be playing it on Xbox.
I will be on Xbox for if I make it into, because it still says pending. So.
Right, and there is a limited amount of slots that are going to be getting into this.
And they have said just because it says pending doesn't mean you're going to get in. So.
Right. Exactly. That's why I just said if I get it, because it still says pending.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people have been like posting it. They're like, "Oh, I got in," and it's like nobody's been invited yet. It doesn't tell you that you're in, you know. Or they sent out emails to say, "Oh, you can go sign up for the alpha," but I have 3 different email accounts, and none of them have received that email from EA to say you can go sign up.
Did you sign up 3 different times?
No.
So you're the reason why no one can get in, because you're flooding it with requests. So
no, I signed up once under 1 email. That's it.
All right. Well, that's what we'll go with on this show. So it is first come, first serve, according to the email. So hopefully those of us that got in early will be able to have access to that. As I was reading through the information, all the fine print, this wasn't very fine print. It's very bold. They said you can't talk about this.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
You have
post
an NDA
on it. There's an NDA, so even like you can talk about it with your friends, it said, and you can direct them to the link, but no one's streaming this, no one's recording video. I'm sure people are recording video, and no one's going to be posting it. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to play the game. I hope I can have a chance to play the game. If I can't, and you guys are all playing the game, I'm going to be really upset about it. So good luck to everyone out there trying to get in. I encourage you to keep trying. Hopefully, they'll keep opening it up. And they'll see that, this is great to show the demand for the game. These are not the same servers that the game is going to be on, so don't freak out about that. We also got minimum specs. These are probably not finalized minimum specs for the game, but we did get a show of what the minimum specs are going to be. So it's going to be on Windows 10. You're going to need a processor, an i5-3570, or an AMD 390 BGB. JD, you have a computer that should be able to run this after looking at the specs, correct?
It's definitely possible. Whether or not it's actually going to happen it's going to be hard to tell. But
right, and then you need 8 gerbils of memory. That's 8 gigabytes. The CPU, you just need a GTX 970, 4 gigs, or an AMD R9. That's R9 390.
Steve lives fast
gigs.
And loose, everybody.
And then hard drive, you need 60 gigs of space. That's a lot for an alpha test. That's almost like downloading the whole game.
Well, maybe you're downloading the whole game.
Well, if you're downloading the whole game on a PC, I mean, I would be concerned of like people digging into the code and figuring out everything that's going on there, right?
Yeah, no, I mean that's always the Issues with anything for PC, because they're gonna break in there and dig through all your files and find all the information and put it out there. Even if you have non-disclosure agreements or whatever, they don't care. I mean, their whole thing is to find that information and release it. So that, I mean, I'm surprised they're even letting it to go on PC, honestly, for outside their studio. So, or unless they like handpick people, So.
On Xbox and PlayStation, you can disable the ability to capture that stuff. I mean, you can't do it all the way because you can always use a capture card.
Yeah.
But then at least, your gamer tag and stuff will be visible. You could be able to shut people down like that. But if you're doing this on PC, you can make so many fake accounts and you just release all this information. There's nothing that they can do. How are they going to be able to track you down? It's not, I don't know. It's a very difficult position to put them in.
Well, and then, it's just easier to get into the files and search through everything. People do it all the time with any kind of updates. I mean, that's what people do for a living. Some of them where there's an update and they just scroll through all the files, look through everything, and find any kind of hints to what's coming in the future. So
right, you search for keywords. I mean, people do this with World of Warcraft all the time. That's like there's those websites dedicated to data mining all this stuff, and that's fun for people to do. So, all right, that's one thing that I skipped. Devin, will you cover the Art of Anthem Limited Edition? Also, something I found while I was surfing on Amazon before the official release came out. They had a post up.
Yeah, so the Art of Anthem Limited Edition, right? So it's pretty sweet looking here. They show you the covers. What it comes with is a die-cut clamshell case, right? Gallery quality art print. So what that
sounds fancy.
Very
fancy,
nice.
high resolution print. Exclusive cover and metallic printed and embossed miniature replica of an ancient Fort Tarsis mural. Right? So this mural is pretty good. It looks pretty cool. I don't know if we want to talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
We could talk about it.
Dive in.
Let me get this picture here so I can zoom in.
So, Devin, if you were to explain this mural to someone that has never seen
a mural before,
That's
never seen a mural before.
So what it looks like is a cat that's wearing armor.
Okay, I'm with you.
Let me find it here. Where'd it go?
It's on the page.
Come on, Devin.
There we go. I like it. Well, it screws it up for everybody when you mess things like that. So,
that's
all right.
Fine.
So you have Helena, right? Is that her name?
That's what I call her. I don't know.
So
it's Helena Tarsis.
My aunt Helena is. I do have an aunt whose name is Helena, but
that's too funny.
So she is. There's two people working on her javelin, putting it on. They are just wearing, the bare necessities of outfit, and she is reaching out to grab a very large sword. So from someone, we don't know who it is. Obviously, it's the blacksmith who takes care.
You just said we didn't know who it was.
I'm just guessing.
I'm guessing that's not a blacksmith. I mean, we've got 3 different people around Helena. So we've got, like you said, the 2 guys on bended knee, working on armor, putting armor on. And the guy with the really long beard, I'm guessing this is some sort of, advisor to the ruler of Tarsis. It could be her cipher. A long beard, looks like really old person, probably, been around for a really long time, helping Helena figure out how to run this place. She's handing her the giant sword. If you actually look really close in the up-res version of this picture, the Anthem logo is imprinted on the old guy's belt, which I thought is kind of interesting. So this symbol has, goes way far back, 500 years ago. So this symbol, I think, has deeper meaning than just being the symbol that they chose for the game. So there's something more to it. But handing her this giant sword, I mean, we've seen a statue of I don't know if it's a statue of a ranger or if it's a statue of a shaper out in the woods that has this giant sword also. I don't know if that's Helena. I don't know, kind of what's going on with all this sword stuff. We haven't seen any swords in game.
Not yet.
Except for the statue. So, this makes me think, if we get a melee weapon like this, if we get the sword of Helena Tarsis, that's pretty awesome. But, this type of artwork also reminds
not
me
at launch,
very
Steven.
much of
Right,
not at launch. It also reminds me very much of Egyptian artwork. Being imprinted on. That's the kind of vibe that I get from it, and that's what I thought when I first saw it. It's like, man, this is she's like the pharaoh getting suited up for battle to go out and fight. You know, whether she's fighting the Dominion, whether she's, you know, this is the last battle that they have before the Shapers leave. I don't know. Lots of interesting things. One of the weird things that I see on this book. So if you look at the cover of the book, and I think this is, so is that the art print that they're showing? It
On
says
the right?
on there, yeah, on the right. It says starring Faye Naveen, Halleck, Owen Corley with Matthias Sumner. That's kind of weird to put on an art print, if that's what an art print is, like starring these people. I thought that was kind of an interesting little addition to that.
Like a movie poster.
It's a movie poster print type thing.
Yeah,
Anthem starring these characters.
Well, but if
Yeah,
it's
but
like, but
where's
if it's
us?
like gallery level,
We're in the
I mean,
Javelin.
Yeah,
we're unnamed. They can't put everyone's name on there, right?
they can.
they can say, and you the player. All right. Anyway, that'll be pretty interesting. That's $80. That's also being released on the when is it, the 27th? It's being released a month after the
It's
game. I
after,
think it's like
yeah.
March 27th. So pretty cool. Everyone go to Amazon, find that. Also go to Amazon for all the information that you need on all things Anthem.
All things.
All right. Now, really quick, do you guys want to touch on the stream? Real quick, give us a breakdown on what happened on the stream today, Devon, since you were there live in person watching it all unfold in real time.
Well, so the stream, they were trying to show off, basically, I think it was they were going to announce the technical alpha and all this stuff, you know, the closed alpha. And what they were using was the build for the alpha. And so they were just showing off Fort Tarsis, walking around. They were talking to some ciphers and going through stuff and talking with different people to try and show you some of the interaction that you're going to experience as you play Anthem. And they walked through just 2 small spots of Fort Tarsis. And, I mean, they showed you, okay, these doors here lead to the whole other side of Fort Tarsis, but it's locked off right now, and it's locked off in the alpha, you know, so nobody's going to be able to get through there. They talked about ciphers, like you have here, ciphers are rare, right? So there's lots of cool things they showed. There was books to pick up for the Codex, the Freelancer Codex.
They said Cortex, so.
We're still going to call it
the name of the
Codex.
show.
Man.
So real quick, Devin, before you continue on, Mark Dare just tweeted this out. This is real time. Breaking news, people.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
So Mark Dare says, so the alpha test got posted to Reddit and picked up by the press, and the traffic crashed the registration site. This is intended as a tech test, mainly. I'm glad everyone is enthusiastic, but there aren't a huge number of spots.
Yeah. Notice they said it's first come, first serve. And even if you get it through there, like I said, it's not a guarantee that you're going to get picked. So
he says it wasn't publicly announced for precisely this reason. So I mean, they were really quick to post. Like, I wonder how someone was just going on the
somebody
site.
leaked it or whatever. You know.
Well, anyway, sorry I derailed you. So hopefully, JD, Mike, I hope you guys are able to get in.
I hope you're able to get in. Or
If not, you can't
it
come
sound
to-
like I'm not gonna get in.
You can't
Because
come to
you
our
like
house.
did it 7 hours late. I'm just saying you can't come over to my house because I can't show it to you.
I didn't do
I
it
mean,
7 hours.
I
late.
haven't even been able
I
to
got it done
register
on
for the
time.
darn thing.
Is the
I got
website
it
still
done
not
on
loading for you,
time.
JD?
Don't you
It,
worry.
it has not. I have actually been trying in the background this entire podcast, even on my iPad and on my phone. And
You haven't been focused 100% on this show.
So
Well,
Jack Turner from
considering
Twitter.
how slowly this thing loads.
Oh
it's just-
my
yeah.
goodness.
So Jack Turner from Twitter asks Mark, he says, does this mean it won't be going ahead? Or if we got an email, do we just have to wait? Mark Dare says, the test is still happening. I suspect the spots may already be full, ... Keep trying, I guess? Question mark?
Yeah.
So,
Who knows?
So,
Good luck to
are you
everyone.
saying that is that to mean that if you're in, you should know by now?
I don't think so.
I don't think
Okay.
anybody knows that they're in.
Yeah. But carry
Yeah.
on with the Fort Tarsis, Devin. Sorry.
All right. So
Yeah, he's all derailed. He has no idea what he's talking about.
Steven's the derailer today.
No, I think one of the cool things that we saw in the fort is, the fort really looks like it's lived in. There's
Yeah.
a ton of people in there.
Well, and they said it's
The-
really empty right now too. There's not a lot of stuff in there.
Right, and one of the things I can't get over is the type of headgear people have in this game.
You
We
mean where
saw more-
everybody's eyes are covered?
No,
Not
so
everybody's
there-
eyes weren't covered.
Oh,
There's
there's a lot of
people that
people whose
are like-
eyes are covered. Like, they've seen some stuff. Them brutes with them 6 eyes, they must melt your mind muscles or something.
So I'm wondering, like, what lore reason, in-game reason we're gonna have for the type of headgear. I mean, there was a lady that had this thing swooping forward. This is like, you know, you see all the pictures of the crazy clothes that people design, and you're like, no one would ever wear that. Like, these people are wearing that, you know, and they've got like some of the weird stuff on. And you're like, what is that? You know, why are you wearing that? Is there bugs? Is there like some sort of form of radiation?
I hate bugs.
You know, are you trying to like see past something that not all of us can see? So it's really weird. I'm like excited to figure out what it is and figure out if, you know, maybe in the future you as a character can wear some of that crazy stuff around the fort. You won't be able to see it, but
yeah, no,
I mean maybe you will be able to wear it.
I liked, you know, as you're walking around, they showed off a couple of the vendors. They said several of the vendors were closed, but you could see there's vendors for everything for your javelin, right? So they had weapons, they had
there was a sweet
grenades,
helmet.
The helmet looked
cool
pretty
looking.
awesome. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff, and I really hope they just, when they do the next stream, they just start over. Be like, all right, we're just going to start fresh. You know, we're just pretend that last
This is
time
where
didn't
we
happen. We're starting.
Right?
Here you go. You know,
Here you go. Here you go.
I'm hoping it's going to be next week, right? Because, you know, I don't know.
I think they try to do it as soon as possible.
Maybe
if it's
tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, then, you know, do a weekend stream where people are off and they can make it. Do it on Saturday. I don't think you need tons of time to announce it. I mean, I think word is passing quickly enough that if you announce a stream, hey, we're going to stream this on Saturday, we'll all show up. And it'll be even better because most people can show up because they might be off work. I'm sorry for those of you that work on Saturday, but I think that would be a great opportunity for them to do that. Just get it out there. Get it done. Like, erase what happened. I know there's a lot of technical stuff, but people are going to remember that. So get it out as soon as possible so we forget it and we see the cool stuff from the first mission. Because there's tons of cool stuff. Like the statues that they have of people inside the fort look amazing. Like the textures, like climbing up, you know, the stairs and stuff. I mean, it all just looks really good.
Walking up those stairs, I'm like, you have all these javelins and everything else, and your stairs are sinking in, and they look like crap. I mean, they're used and abused, but I'm like, how can you not like have better stairs than this?
I mean, you would think you would have to have like separate sentinel stairs or, you know, stairs for the javelins to walk up, right? You know, stop breaking these steps. So one of the things that I really liked is you can actually see, like, I hate it when games just turn down the lighting so you can't see anything in the corners. Yeah. I was like, oh wow, you can like actually see everything in the, you know, in the daytime, which is good because I hate, you know, turning those sliders down. So, I mean, the place looks great. Yeah. Like looking at the weapons, looking at the armor, and they're like, "Oh, we're not going to talk to that person." It's like, "No, talk to them. I want to see the weapons. I want to see what it looks like when I have to buy stuff."
Well, I'm sure they were going to talk to him later, but you know.
Yeah, that was kind of like,
AJ shut down the stream. He's like, "No,
look at this thing over here. We're not going to show you, and look at this here. We're not going to show you.
Some of the other
area.
things.
Guess what? We're not going there.
You can see was they had skill points." Right.
You're not going to be able to go.
Anything you could see, you can go to, JD, okay?
Right. So we did have skill points. We had 2 skill points available, and
they talked about it.
We kept getting prompted to spend them.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was interesting. They showed off. It was weird. So they didn't want to do the conversation live with the person, so they had a pre-recorded conversation during the demo. So we were supposed to play as the Interceptor, but they recorded it with a Ranger in the Forge instead of the Interceptor, so if people didn't notice that. When they were switching over to the video of the conversation to try and show an example when they talk to like a technician or a repair person that works on your javelins after you go out and destroy it or get upgrades.
Destroy it.
I wonder why they wouldn't just do the conversation there.
I don't know. I mean, that's something they didn't want to do. I don't know. That's why they were like, well, we'll see if it works. You know, because they had to switch to a different screen to play the movie.
We haven't tested this before. Let's test it now in front of all these people.
But I thought it was interesting because when they talked to her after it was done, there was like a, you know, for leveling up with that conversation with that person. Is that what it looked like to you? Where they had that conversation, they were building a rapport with that person, or was that just their level? You know, when it's going level 2 and it had the thing up at the top. I'd have to look at it again, but.
Yeah, I'd have to watch it again. I didn't see that part.
I didn't have much time to watch it, but one of the cool things when we went up the stairs, there was just 2 people having a conversation, and you were able to listen in on that conversation. So that kind of thing makes it, you know, hopefully they're not just going to be repeating the same 10 lines over and over again as you walk by them.
Unless every time you go up those stairs, you walk into that conversation.
Yeah, which will be unfortunate, but you know, those are the kinds of things that make the world seem like it's lived in. So I'm excited to hear more, to see the amount of people that are actually in the fort. When you looked up and you saw the Strider docking bays, I mean, like, wow, this place
That was
is
kind of
huge.
cool.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. So I'm excited to see more. Also, Sabine said that ciphers are rare. I thought, if you had a school for ciphers, that they would be a little bit more common, or else, you set up like some sort of mentorship type thing, but they're kind of rare. So that was very interesting. And also, the next time we do a Q&A, I would suggest, this is like my feedback for the whole thing, more important than getting like the stream right. Please stop talking about the grabbits. Okay? Like, how many people have even seen a grabbit? If this is the first time they're coming in on a stream, they have no idea what a grabbit is. But we're wasting a question that could have been, a good question from Twitch on something like, hey, can you destroy all the grabbits in the world? Who cares? Like, talk about the stream. Answer a question that someone actually has about the game. Like, we get it. The grabbit thing has run its course. Please, for the love of Mike, Gamble, and you, Mike, stop talking about the grabbits, okay? Rant over. Anything else, JD?
For the love of our bikes.
For the love of all the mics.
Oh, man.
If not, I think that one thing that we can all do, let's go watch the 20 minutes over and over again, see if we can pick anything out, find more information that we have, see if we are going to be leveling up some rapport with each individual NPC. There's a lot of secrets in there. Mike picked up 2 books that added to our Cortex. They looked like there was a helmet that he could pick up that was going to add to the Cortex. So, what was that white helmet doing? What story does it have? So I'm excited to see all this stuff. And for, all these javelins being handmade, there sure was a big old pile of javelins over there being sold. So, hats off to all those freelancers that never made it back after they went past the wall. Moment of silence for them. But I guess you got to make a living. So someone's got to go out there and recover those javelins.
They got nothing else to do, right? So they got to make parts.
Make do.
But before we go, I just wanted to point out something I forgot to do at the top of the show. There's 85 days till launch. So the holidays are coming up. That means the BioWare staff is probably going to be taking a long break. Hopefully they can rest and recover. I hope they have a lot of time because they've been putting in a lot of hard work on these things. I know Jay Wanamani, that dude just works all the time and probably needs a little bit of a break.
Lead writer.
He's like at the office all the time every time he tweets something. So I'm guessing if they're going to be taking a break, I'm guessing the game goes gold in the middle of December. Because I think that'd be a weird time to take a break. And then we only have a month until the demo was out, because we only have 64 days until the demo, only 78 days until you can play the game if you have Origin Access Premier or EA Access on Xbox and PC. So we are getting down to the wire. 9 days until our first look at Alpha, if you get accepted to it. I'm sure you'll be able to
any of us get accepted.
I'm sure you'll be able to find tons of stuff.
Not that we can say anything anyway.
No, but the internet is what the internet is, and the internet will provide everything that we need. So until next time, guys, there's a Shaper Storm on the horizon, and you know what? Shaper Storms might affect Fort Tarsis. That was another question that we had. Even though we were looking for questions about the fort, we got a question about the Shaper Storms.
Do you think they'll affect grabbits?
I hate you so much right now. I'm going to play this. And until next time, there's a Shaper Storm on the horizon. We'll see you on the other side. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter on Facebook at Freelancer. Join the Discord through the link provided at freelancercodex.com.
JD, your hair disappeared.
Free. But if you'd like to send some support, you may do so at patreon.com/freelancercodex. Our individual Twitter handles are at Steven Lamson, at mlamson25, at Neverfear, and at JD the Joke Dealer. Freelancers, it's time to get to work.